Hi, this is Jordan from Recap Animation. All properties are owned by their respective companies. Please enjoy. The story begins with a woman shown holding her baby in the pouring rain. The tired-looking woman then tried to find a place to hide from the group of people who were after her. While trying to find a place, she sang a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star song for her son. The door opened in front of her, and the mistress invited her in. The desperate woman then gave her son to the mistress of the house and told her she'd be back after buying some medicine for the baby. However, 18 years have passed, and the woman has yet to return to pick up her now adult son, Lushu. Lushu and his sister, Lushoyu, went to the fireworks festival that night. While there, they heard some individuals talking about people with superpowers. Lushu wasn't sure if he should believe the news going around because, in his mind, no one in this world had superpowers. But as he and Shoyu watched a man on stage do fire magic, Lushu felt strange, glowing energy coming from the necklace his mother had given him. He then thought that the man wasn't doing magic tricks but had superpowers to control fire. Lushu and his sister then sneaked backstage out of curiosity. They were shocked when they saw a group of people in black clothes ambush the fire-bending man and then shoot him with stun guns. But they soon found Lushu and Shoyu, so Lushu came up with a reason why they shouldn't be blamed. Even though he and his sister were let go in the end, the leader of the group still seemed suspicious of Lushu. In the same way, Lushu thought they weren't the police like they said they were. Then Lushu and Shoyu met a young man named Chi Wei, who asked what had happened backstage. But Lushu didn't answer and left him right away. Lushu thought of Shoyu as his little sister, but they were not blood related. Lushu and Shoyu were both orphans. They met at an orphanage run by a woman who met Lushu's mother 18 years ago. Lushu was often picked on by other kids when he was young, and Shoyu was the only other child who cared about him. Lushu loved Shoyu a lot because of this, and he thought of her as his younger sister. Lushu moved out of the orphanage to live on his own, but Shoyu followed him. As he was about to cross the street to buy noodles, Lushu didn't notice that a car was speeding toward him. He couldn't avoid the collision and fell to the ground, covered in blood. However, the accident made the necklace his mother gave him react, and Lushu magically didn't feel any pain and got up as if nothing had happened. He thought that he might have superpowers since he had survived the deadly accident. Lushu ran home, covered in blood, and knew something strange had happened to him. Then he told Shoyu to make the noodles while he cleaned up. Lushu was trying to figure out what had happened to him inside the room. He was very surprised when he saw that something on his left hand was giving off a golden glow. When Lushu touched it, a golden screen magically appeared in front of him. It showed how many points he had gotten for accidentally scaring people on the way home. Lushu realized right away that he had superpowers, and the more he made other people feel bad, the more points he got. After that, a lucky spin of the wheel game showed up on the system-like screen, and he used the points he had to try his luck. Even though he had tried several times and failed to get the prize, and his points were almost gone, Lushu finally got a very rare gift, a piece of paper with the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star written on it. When Lushu sings the song, he gets absorbed in his conscience, where he can feel a mighty force flowing inside him. Not long after that, Lushu heard about a fire near his house and decided to go to the roof to find out what happened. He did this because he had a peculiar feeling. When Lushu went to the roof, he saw some men running on the roof of other people's houses. As they got closer, Lushu realized they were the same people who had knocked out the man who could bend fire backstage. Then Lushu went to hide, but one saw him, leading to Lushu being caught. Lushu then tricked them by saying he was picking up radishes that were drying on his roof. Since Lushu was carrying a basket of radishes, no one even thought to question him. But when they left, Lushu returned to the house, and then suddenly something fell from the roof. When Lushu and Shoyu went outside to check, they found that the man who had fallen earlier was the one who could bend fire at the festival. He had probably been trying to run away. Lushu knew that the man was only pretending to be unconscious, so he made him angry on purpose to get a lot of points from his anger. When the man got tired of Lushu playing with him, he burned Lushu's arm with fire. But strangely, the power of the fire did not affect Lushu. It was as if he was able to cancel it out. The man looked surprised that Lushu couldn't be hurt by his strength. Since all of his efforts were for nothing, the man finally just left. After that, Lushu went back to his room. After eating the magic fruit with the aid of a golden screen in front of him, his physical physical strength increased significantly. Lu Shu's family was very poor, so he sold food to make money and pay his school fees. Even though he had to sell before going to school, Lu Shu was never embarrassed when his classmates passed by from when he was selling. When one of his classmates was about to make fun of him for being so poor that he had to sell, Lu Shu irritated him on purpose so he could get many points for his negative emotions. When Lu Shu is at school, a student named Li Qi attacks a teacher after his powers have been awakened, which shocks the whole school. In such a dangerous situation, Lu Shu thought of a way to make the many people there feel bad instead. With his cleverness, he finally stopped Li Qi and gained many points from the people's negative emotions. One of his classmates, a girl named Ling Ling, then praised Lu Shu's creativity, but in the end, Lu Shu embarrassed her and got points for her negative emotions. After that, Lu Shu and the rest of his classmates were forced to give their blood samples to see if their powers had also awakened. When he got back home, Lu Shu saw that Shou Yu was sick, so he tried to heal Shou Yu with the healing fruits he had won from the lucky spin. Lu Shu finally got the healing fruit after doing spins several times, and he gave it to Shou Yu. After eating it, Shou Yu finally got better quickly and got back to normal health. The next day at school, the students are shocked by the results of a blood sample test, because many students who are thought to be normal had awakened their powers, and Lu Shu is one of those whose powers are also awakened. The school then made them a special class and put a man named Shi Fei in charge of the class. Lu Shu was surprised to see Shi Fei because he was the one who had been looking for the fire-bending man. After that, Zhong Shiyui, a transfer student in Lu Shu's class, turned out to be awakened and would also be going to a special class. Even though he was very pretty and his skin was so smooth, Shiyui turned out to be a man. Lu Shu and the disciples whose powers had been awakened got together in the evening at a place where they could do more tests to find out their levels of strength, which was ranked from A to F, with A being the best. The test showed that Lu Shu was at level F, which is the lowest level. Because of this, he became a target for bullying. He didn't mind it though, because he was able to annoy a lot of people, which would make him more advantageous. Lu Shu finally showed his sister how strong he was. Then he started doing spins after many tries and getting only stinking tofu. He got a special item, but Shou Yu's body took in the item, and she also got absorbed into her consciousness, which made her super strength awaken. Lu Shu then thought that Shou Yu was destined to have this power. Then Lu Shu met an old man who lived next door and was practicing swordsmanship. The old man offered to teach Lu Shu, but Lu Shu refused right away, leaving the old man alone. As time went on, Lu Shu did his usual things, like selling, going to school, and getting points from the bad feelings of those around him. One day, Lu Shu did spin and got a magic sword, but he had no idea how to use the sword in any way. Lu Shu finally found out that Shi Fei was a member of the World Network group because Shiyu Yu told him so. The Heavenly Network was above them. It had less than 10 members, which meant that the people in it were very powerful. That night, Lu Shu noticed that the people from the Heavenly Network organization were visiting the old man living next to him. The old man, named Li, turned out to be one of the Heavenly Network's most respected higher-ups. When Lu Shu found out this, he finally took Master Li up on his offer and started practicing swordsmanship with the old man. Thanks for watching. If this series is the most liked in my current production of anime recaps, I will make a part 2. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to help me make more content.